Today I am making spaghetti, and it will be fat-free, and I have just been browning some of my turkey sausage that I have made in a previous video that you can look at on my channel, and it's all brown. And you can use the marinara sauce to do these same things with, but today, without any meat. But today I'm adding the turkey spinach, and I'm going to add the marinara sauce that I made in a previous video. And so I'm putting it all into my skillet and heating it up. This is absolutely delicious, and it will be my meat has already been browned, and my marinara sauce had already been cooked from 4 hours in a crock pot in my other video. And I'm mixing it all together and heating it up here. So it's going to heat while I'm getting ready to do a few other things. Now, one thing I add for my spaghetti, so I do not have the carbohydrates of regular spaghetti, is the shiitake noodles. They have a little bit of protein in them. They have no fat, which is awesome. And there's a little bit of carbs in them. But what you have to do, and I have them in this colander here, you have to rinse them. They smell really bad when you open up the package. So put them in a colander and just rinse and rinse and rinse. And then they're so long and stringy, what I do with them, let me turn this down a little because we don't want anything burning. We just want it heating up with a little bit of a stir. So what I do is I pull them up and I cut them with scissors so they're not so long. And you don't have to do that. It's personal choice. If you don't want something really stringy long, because they can get pretty long here. And so I cut them up and just make shorter bite-sized pieces instead of really big and awkward. So I am going to take this and I am going to pour it, all of it, in my spaghetti sauce with my turkey sausage. And I'm going to stir it up. Now these noodles take on the flavor of whatever sauce they're cooked with. If they were in the mushroom sauce, it would absorb that. If it's in with the marinara sauce and the turkey sausage, it absorbs that. And you can eat this dish just like this if you want a regular spaghetti. I like to jazz it up and add a little something extra, and sometimes I do both. I will make one like this, and as you see, it looks like spaghetti. So what I do is I take it and I put it in a dish, and this is the way I keep them, and they're in these snap lock dishes, and that way I can keep them in the fridge and I can pop a top off, stick it in, and I got a quick fast lunch or dinner, and it's great. But always let it cool before you put the snap top on. And so I'm snapping that into place there, and I just keep as many dishes as I want to fill up. But what I really want to show you for the rest of this recipe is how to make a spaghetti Florentine with mushrooms. And I love mushrooms, and so I'm taking about probably a cup of mushrooms and putting them into my sauce here. And I'm going to take some fresh spinach. And if you take fresh spinach and you roll it up just a little bit like this and bunch it together, you can slice it, and this is what I do. And you don't have to do this. This is my personal choice. Is I make long slices, and then before I add it, and then I add about to that pan probably a cup of the spinach. And you can add more or less if you like it real heavy with the spinach flavor, which I like getting spinach because it's healthy for you. So a lot of times I'll put quite a bit in. minute. So these vegetables cook for maybe 5 minutes because it doesn't take long for mushrooms or spinach. And we'll be right back and I'll show you what I do with it from there. So the vegetables are almost done. I noticed that they were a little bit dry. So, you know, with the sauce, it had kind of dried up. So what I did is I'm adding just a little bit. I had some beef broth in the refrigerator. Or you could add a little bit of water because there's plenty of tomato sauce. So I watered down my beef broth and added the water to it with beef broth and water. Now this is cooked very nicely, and as you can see, the spinach is cooked, the mushrooms are cooked. It's absolutely delicious. The turkey sausage really gives it a great flavor. And if you don't like the sausage flavor, you could do it with regular turkey or regular beef, or you could do it with pork or chicken, or a number of different things. Yeah, as I said before, when I did the plain spaghetti with the snap top things, you can, let me shut this off because I think it's done here. You can store these like this with the spinach being Florentine and the mushrooms. And then I have another way that I want to show you. We store them, and then when you want to eat them, you just take the snap top off, put them in the microwave, and voila, you have lunch. So now, out of this one dish, I have made regular spaghetti that I could microwave and have for lunch, or eat it at dinner or lunch. And then I have a Florentine with mushrooms and fresh spinach that I've made. So I'm going to let those cool before I put the snap top lids on. And I have one last dish that I can make out of this exact ingredients. And I already have it here. So if you want a casserole, which would be a turkey spaghetti marinara Florentine casserole, you just get a couple of little casserole dishes. And you can do two things. If you want to add a little sour cream to it, you could put a dollop of sour cream in it, because then it would make it creamy. And I always use fat-free sour cream. And then you can stir that in. And it makes kind of a cream sauce in with the spaghetti and the spinach and the mushrooms. I love this. Fat-free mozzarella cheese, and I bought this at Whole Foods. You can't get them at some other stores, and then I grated it myself. So you take the mozzarella, put it, and I know I'm not Italian enough to say it the way you're supposed to say it, but cover, if you choose, you don't have to put the cheese on. If you have some kind of an allergy against milk or something, you can leave the sour cream and the cheese out. And this can go in the oven, and you can microwave it. So if you have company, or if you want to just have it, you can make it the night before, the day before, keep it in your refrigerator, cover it, and just stick it in your oven or stick it in your microwave, either one. And you've got an instant dinner when you come home, or when you're just hungry and you got to have something that has protein and vegetables in it. So I hope you've enjoyed this with my 3 different dishes here of what you can make with this one pan of spaghetti. So, move these over so you can see these. It's kind of exciting to have 3 different meals out of one pan of food. So, I hope you've enjoyed this today, and I hope you enjoy the food. Let me know what you think.